Hey everyone, welcome to today's session. Today we will learn about the GST portal. We will have an overview of the GST portal. So before proceeding, let us quickly recap what we learned in our previous session. So in our previous session, we learned about the different categories of taxpayers. Regular taxpayer, they are those who are required to get enrolled under GST if their turnover exceeds the threshold limit, or they can also opt to get enrolled voluntarily. Next are the composition dealers. The composition dealers are those whose turnover hasn't exceeded rupees 1.5 crores and they have to pay the GST at a fixed percentage of their turnover. Next are the casual taxable person. Casual taxable person are those who conduct business occasionally at a place where he doesn't have any place of business. Casual taxable persons are granted with registration which is valid for 90 days and it can further be extended for a period of another 90 days. Then comes the non-resident taxpayers. The non-resident taxpayers are those NRI who are willing to conduct business in India for a certain period. Their registration are also valid for a period of 90 days which can be extended by filing a form that is REG 11. So let us now start with today's topic, that is GST portal. So the web address for GST portal is www.gst.gov.in. GST portal is the central system for registration, return filing, payments and other compliances by the taxpayer. So in our previous sessions, we already had an overview of registration of GST. Once GST registration is approved by the department, you receive an email containing your provisional user ID and provisional password. On the first login, you are required to reset your provisional ID and password and create your own user ID and password. Once this is done, you are all set to log into your GST account. So this is the home screen of the GST portal. What is GST portal? It is a secure digital platform by the Goods and Service Tax Network. It is used for GST compliance and taxpayer services. So now let us take a walkthrough of the GST portal. I will share a live screen and we'll see what are the different functionalities that are available on the GST portal. So let us switch to the GST portal. This is the home page of GST portal. At the home page, we have multiple tabs, that is Home, Services, GST Laws, Downloads, Search Taxpayer, Help and Taxpayer Facilities, E-Invoice, News and Updates. So in the Home tab, we will find all the news and updates about GST along with some external links. In the Services tab, we have registrations, payments, user services, refunds, e-way bill system and track application status. So let us see each of these one by one. Registration. Under the registration tab, we have new registration, application for filing clarifications, track application status and home state GSK selection for promoters or directors of specific COBs. What is this? Home state Goods and Service Suvidha Kendra selection for promoter or directors of specific class of business for biometric authentication. So let us start new registration. If we want to obtain a new registration, we have to use this option under the registration tab. By clicking onto this option, this page will open where we have to select either new registration or if we have already filled up this part, then we have to log in using this temporary reference number. So let us see what are the requirements of part A of the fresh application form. So there are multiple options: taxpayer, tax deductor, tax collector, GST practitioner, non-resident taxable person, United Nation body, consulate or embassy of foreign country, other notified person, non-resident online service provider, or non-resident online money gaming supplier. So these are the category of taxpayers and we have to select among these. Next is the state. We have to select the state, then district, then legal name of the business, that is name as per the PAN. Next is the permanent account number, that is the PAN number, then email ID and mobile number. OTP will be sent on these email ID and phone number as furnished by the taxpayer. So let's go back to the home page. So under registration, next one is track application status. So once the application form has been submitted, registration application form has been submitted, we are provided with a application reference number, that is ARN number, and we can track the application using that ARN from this option. Next is application for filing clarification. Suppose we have filed a registration application and department finds certain deficiencies in that application, then it communicates to the prospective taxpayer and then we have to comply with those deficiencies using this application for filing clarification option. So the next one is payments. Under the payment tab, we have create challan, track payment status and grievance against payment, that is GST PMT 07. So the create challan option, all the payments on the GST portal are required to be done using a challan. So challan can be created using this option without logging in to your account. Then track payment status. All the payments made by the challan can be tracked using this option. This option requires the GSTIN and the CPIN. Grievance against payment, that is all the payment related grievances are raised using this option. Next is user services. Under user services tab, we have search HSN code, holiday list, generate user ID for unregistered applicant, locate GST practitioners, cause list, search advanced ruling and verify RFN. Search HSN code, all the taxpayers or those who are willing to or required to get registered in the GST can search the HSN or SAC code of the goods or services that are being provided or that they are going to provide after seeking registration. Holiday list. This is the holiday list of the GST department. Generate user ID for unregistered applicant. Sometimes unregistered applicants are also required to generate user ID for purposes like filing of refund application or it may be seeking advanced ruling, etc. Such temporary ID can be generated using this option. Locate GST practitioner. All the GST practitioners are required to get empaneled with the GST department. So the taxpayers can locate the GST practitioners using this option. Cause list. Cause list is nothing but a list of dates that has been published by the GST department and communicated to the taxpayer by this option, on which hearing has to be done for any amendments in orders or for declaring any order as void ab initio. Search advanced ruling. Any confusion under the GST or the provisions relating to GST, a taxpayer can seek advanced ruling. All the prior advanced ruling issued by the department can be viewed here. Verify RFN. RFN is nothing but a reference number that is mentioned in the documents or communications issued by the state tax officers. So an SSC or a taxpayer can verify the genuineness of any document or communication made by the state tax office using this option by placing this RFN in the search window. The next one is refunds. Under this, refund application can be tracked. Then e-way bill system. This option will redirect you to the e-way bill portal. Then track application status. Under this option, application for refund and application for registration can be tracked. So there are other tabs also like GST law. Under this tab, you will find all the state acts and the central act at one place. Under the download tabs, offline tools. Offline tools of all the GST returns are available here. One can download the offline tool and prepare the return. Then GST statistics. GST department releases data like annual collection, annual turnover of states, etc. All such data are available under this tab. Then comes search taxpayer. Taxpayer can be searched using GST number. If GST number is not available, it can be searched using a PAN. Any temporary ID issued by the GST department can be searched here. For searching a composition taxpayer, this tab is used. Help and taxpayer facilities. Any kind of help required can be communicated to the department via this tab. E-invoice, for generating e-invoice, this tab is used, and for any news and updates, this tab is used. So this is the overview of the homepage of the GST. Let us now log into a GST account and understand the various functionalities. Right corner of the home page, there are two options. One is register and another is login. So let us log in into a GST account. Here's the username and the password. Let's enter the CAPTCHA. Okay. So this is the home screen after logging in. So this green color implies the returns have been filed. If for any period the return has not been filed and the due date has been lapsed, then this color will turn to red. For example, the GSTR 1 for the month of May has already been filed, but GSTR 3B is yet to be filed and the due date has not yet been lapsed, so it is coming in orange. Once the due date is lapsed, this will turn into red color. Okay, so this is the return calendar for the last 5 return period. At the home page, we have the option of moving into the return dashboard or create challan and view notices or orders, or we can proceed to the annual return directly from here only. If we continue to the dashboard, it will show the ledger balances as on date, that is electronic liability ledger, electronic cash ledger, electronic credit ledger, electronic credit reversal and reclaim statement, RCM liability, ITC statement, negative liability statement for regular taxpayers. These are the different ledgers that is appearing on the home screen. Then this is the annual turnover based on the returns filed by the SSE with the same PAN. That is, suppose if the SSE had 2 registrations, then this would have been the aggregate turnover based on the PAN of the SSE. Okay, so let us see each tab one by one. First one is services. Under the services tab, we have registrations, ledgers, returns, payments, user services, refunds, e-way bill, and track application status. So under the registration, we have new registration. If we click on this, we will be automatically logged out and the registration screen will open up. Application for filing clarification. We just had a discussion about this. Any deficiency in the registration application will be conveyed through a notice and a mail, and we have to comply using this functionality. Amendments of core registration field. So the registration application form is divided into two parts. Some parts are core fields and some forms part of non-core fields. So the core field requires the verification by the officers, and then only any amendments in the core fields take place. Whereas for non-core fields like email ID or phone number, it gets updated automatically. So any amendments in the core field, we have to choose this option, and for amending any non-core fields, we have to choose this option. Then comes application for withdrawal from composition levy. A taxpayer has opted for a composition scheme, but his turnover is exceeding the limit, that is 1.5 crore. Then he must withdraw his existing scheme and enter into the regular scheme. Stock intimation for composition scheme. So the taxpayer who is opting for composition scheme must convey the department about the stock held by him as on the date of opting for composition levy. Next is the application for filing clarification. We already discussed this. Geocoding business address. Geocoding of business address is mandatory. Any new registration is not granted unless geocoding of the business address has been done. Application to opt for composition levy. A taxpayer who is in a regular scheme want to obtain or want to shift to the composition levy can use this functionality to opt for composition levy. Track application status. Any application can be tracked using this functionality. And application for cancellation of registration. For whatsoever reason, if the business is about to close or the threshold limit is below the. So next is the track application status. Any application can be tracked using the ARN number through this option. Then comes the application for cancellation of registration. A taxpayer can apply for cancellation of his registration using this option. Okay, so the next one is ledgers. Under the ledgers tab, we have electronic cash ledger, electronic credit ledger, electronic liability ledger, payment towards demand, negative liability statement for composition taxpayers, negative liability statement for regular taxpayers, electronic credit reversal and reclaim statement, and RCM liability or ITC statement. So let us understand electronic cash ledger. Any amount deposited is credited to cash ledger, and any amount withdrawn or utilized for the payment of taxes, interest or penalty is debited to cash ledger. Then electronic credit ledger. Accumulation of input tax credit is credited to electronic credit ledger. Any input tax credit utilized for the payment of taxes is debited from the electronic credit ledger. Electronic liability ledger. All the outstanding liabilities are appearing in the electronic liability register. Appear in the cut. Start. Electronic liability ledger. All the liabilities outstanding as on date will appear in this electronic liability ledger. Then payment towards demand. Any demand raised electronically by the department can be paid using this functionality. Negative liability statement for composition taxpayer and negative liability statement for regular taxpayer. What is negative liability? Suppose for a month we don't have any sale bill, both in case of composition and regular taxpayer, but we do have certain credit notes of prior period. So if we issue credit notes of prior period but did not declare any sale during the reporting period, then our liability goes to negative. This is the negative liability statement where the taxes also goes negative and we get the credit of such negative taxes in the subsequent period. Next is the electronic credit reversal and reclaim statement. Certain input tax credits are required to be reversed and can be reclaimed later. So any such credits that are reversed and are available for reclaim in future appears under this head. Then RCM liability and ITC statement. Any reverse charge liability and input tax credit statement both appear under this head. Next is the returns tab. Under the returns tab, we have multiple options. Return dashboard. We will look at this at the end. View file returns. All the returns filed till date are available to be viewed using this option. Track return status. Any return filed by the taxpayer can be tracked using this option, and whether it has been accepted or rejected are also available under this tab. Transition forms. All the transition forms like Tran 1, Tran 2, that are the forms which the taxpayers were required to be filed when the transition was taking place during the implementation of GST. Such transition forms can be viewed here, although the dates are lapsed, but it can be viewed here. ITC forms, input tax credit forms. There are multiple input tax credit forms that SSC needs to be filed occasionally. Such forms are available under this head. Annual return. Annual returns. For filing of annual return, we have to use this option. Then TDS and TCS credit received. If our TDS has been deducted by some government or notified organizations, then we can claim the credit using this tab. Tax liabilities and input tax credit comparison. This is the summary of all the tax liabilities that has been declared by the taxpayer during the financial year. That is, this option gives the value of tax liabilities and input tax credit on a monthly basis for each financial year. Opt-in for quarterly return. If we are currently filing monthly return and we are eligible to opt for quarterly return, then we can opt from this option. Return compliance. So if there is any mismatch in the liability or the input tax credit, it will appear here. Then invoice management system dashboard. That is, in case of GSTR 3B, while filing of GSTR 3B, the inputs that are available are required to be accepted or rejected by the taxpayer. If not, next is the invoice management system dashboard. That is, while filing GSTR 3B, the inputs are required to be verified by the taxpayer. The taxpayer is required to accept or reject the inputs appearing in the GSTR 2B. Hence, this invoice management system dashboard is used for this purpose. Then comes the payment. Payment, create challan, save challans, challan history, application for deferred payment, installment calendar, and grievance against payment. So, create challan option, this we have discussed at the home page of the GST portal. For making any payment, challan is required to be created. This is the save challan. If we have created any challan but haven't paid the amount yet, it will appear under the save challan. Challan history. All the previous challan used, created, paid or not will appear under challan history. Then application for deferred payment or payment in installments. It is a scheme where government allows a taxpayer to pay his previous outstanding dues in installments. So a taxpayer can apply for deferred payments or payment in installments to the tax officers. Installment calendar. This is the installment calendar which installment calendar. This is the calendar which is marked by the taxpayer when his installments are due. Then grievance against payment. Again, any payment related issues can be raised by using this grievance against payment option. Then comes the user services. Multiple options are available under the user services also. My saved application. Any application that has been saved by the taxpayer will appear under this head. DRC03. Any payments or any voluntary disclosures will appear under DRC03. Notices, intimation, any notices issued by the department will appear in this head. My applications, any applications that has been so next is the installment calendar. So if the application for deferred payment or payment in installments has been approved by the GST department, then this installment calendar keeps the dates on which the installments are due. Then grievance against payment, that is PMT07. This we have already discussed at the home page. Any payment related issues can be raised using this option. Then user services. There are multiple options under this. First one is my saved application. Any application that has been saved but not submitted will appear here. DRC03 register. This is the register for voluntary payment by the taxpayer. Notices or intimation issued. Any notices or communication issued by the department will appear here. My applications related to my business will appear here. View download certificates. Registration certificates or other certificates are available to download from here. All the registration certificate or amended registration certificates are available under this tab. View notices and orders. All the notices and orders issued by the department will appear here. View my submissions. Any submissions against orders or communications by the department will appear here. Search HSN code. A taxpayer can search his HSN code or SAC code using this tab. Holiday list. Again, this is the holiday list of the GST department. Feedback. Any feedback regarding the GST portal can be done from here. Furnish letter of undertaking. An exporter is required to obtain letter of undertaking for exporting goods without payment of tax. So for obtaining LUT, this functionality is available, and all the submitted LUTs can be viewed under this tab. Locate GST practitioner. A taxpayer can locate GST practitioner in his region from this tab, and he can engage or disengage a GST practitioner using this tab. ITC02 pending for action. ITC02 is the form for merger, sale or acquisition. Any pending ITC02 will appear here. View additional notices or orders. Any notices that are not appearing under this notices or intimation or view notices and orders will appear under additional notices or orders. Cause list, this we have discussed at the home page. Communication between taxpayers. This functionality enables two taxpayers to communicate without sharing their communication details. My masters. If I have created masters of like my vendors or anything, then this my master tab will क्या होता है जी search BOE, that is any bill of entry can be searched with this tab. Search advanced ruling, any advanced ruling issued by the department can be searched here. View PMT 03A. View PMT 03A. PMT 03 is a form. View PMT 03A. PMT 03A is a form that aligns the payment that has been made by the taxpayer by DRC 03 to a specific demand or order. GTA, Goods Transport Agencies. Any GTA can avail services of GST portal. GTA. This functionality is available for Goods Transport Agency and verify RFN. This we have discussed at the home page. So these are the user services. Then refunds. Application for refund. Refund application has to be made using this option. Refund pre-application form. Before applying for refund, a pre-application is to be filed, which can be filed using this option. My saved or filed application. If any refund application I have saved, it will appear here. Track application status. Any refund application that has been submitted by a taxpayer will appear here. Track status of invoice data to be shared with IceGate. In case of exports, data is shared with the IceGate. So invoice data can be cross-verified using this tab. Intimation on account of refund not received. If any refund has been granted but it has not been received yet, an intimation can be made using this option. Then e-waybill, this will redirect to the e-waybill portal. And track application status, this again helps to track the application status of registration and refunds. Then again at the top of the ribbon there are multiple tabs. This we have already discussed. So let us quickly understand and go to the return filing dashboard. So before we wrap up today's session, let us have a look at the return dashboard once. So for filing of GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B, we have to go to the return dashboard. Then we have to select the financial year, quarter and the period. Say May here. To file GSTR 1, we have to go to this tab. For downloading and viewing GSTR 2B, we have to go on this tab. For filing of GSTR 3B, we need to go to this tab, and ultimately for filing of GSTR 2, for viewing of GSTR 2A, we need to click on this tab. We'll have a detailed session on filing of GSTR 1 and filing of GSTR 3B. So that's it for today's session. Thank you.